Hello, this is the Tropy for Research Photo Management tutorial, a two-part video series. This video tutorial is provided by Fondren Library and was created by Jane Zhao, Director of the Digital Media Commons, or DMC, and Kay Sarah Ostrak, the Art and Architecture Librarian. Both Jane and Kay Sarah are available for in-person workshops and support. You can always refer to the Tropy LibGuide at libguide.rice.edu/tropy.
This is Video 2, Advanced Tropy. We will cover how to create a customized template, how to create a customized Zotero Letter template, and how to export Tropy items to Zotero. If Tropy's default templates don't include the metadata fields you need and you are familiar with metadata schemas, you can create a custom template. Start by browsing existing template. This is Tropy generic. It includes 10 fields. This is Tropy correspondence. It includes 10 fields from Tropy generic. In addition, it includes 2 new fields. One is recipient and the other is location. This is Dolphin Core. It includes 15 fields from Dolphin Core metadata element set. Look at the fields included in an existing template. Find the one that's close to your needs, duplicate it, and customize it. In this example, we're going to create a new template called John Biggers Papers at Emory University. Since most of the items are letters, we're going to use Tropy correspondence as a starting point, duplicate it, and customize it. Go to Tropy, Settings, Templates. Select Tropy correspondence. Click on Duplicate button. Name, URI, type, creator, description, or metadata for this new template. Name and URI must be unique. We will call it John Biggers Papers at Emory University. Tropy will automatically generate a URI for this new template. You can create your own, or you can just use the default one. Type, you want to keep it the same as the original template type. Creator, this is the individual or institution that created the template. I will put it Fondren Library. Description is a brief description for your template. I will put it template for John Biggers Papers at Emory University. Then hit Create button. Your template has now been successfully created and is ready for customization. There are 3 basic ways to customize it. In this step, we will see how to keep a field but change its label. Tropy has property in the template settings: property title, property creator, property audience. In this tutorial, we will refer to each property as a field, which is a more familiar term for most users. We will say title field or field title. Each field has a property name, which is what appears by default in your template. For this title field, the name is title. In the template, you will see title. If you like to display a different label, you can easily update it using the label input box. For creator field, you will see author in the label input box. That's why you see author in the template. For audience field, you will see recipient in the label input box, and that's why you see recipient in the template. We can customize the label the way we want it. We will change the creator field's label to author or sender. This could be more intuitive when working with letters. We can add a hint in the hint field to remind people what to enter in this field. We can close the template. It will automatically saved. Go to Tropy interface and select a new template. You will see author sender is displayed here. Now let's get back to our new template. Settings, template, select the new template. Next, let's customize a field by adding a default value that will apply to all items using this template. Let's find the source field. Since this template is designed for items from a single collection, we can save time by entering the archive name once instead of tapping it for every item. I'm going to use this long value. This value will now automatically appear in the source field for every item using this template, because this is the default value for this field. I'm going to check read only. This will lock the field, so it cannot be edited later. No one can accidentally change the value of this field. To add a new field, click the plus button. To remove one, click the minus button. Click the plus button to create a new field. In the property field, tap the name of the metadata term you want to use. For example, we will search for coverage. If we select coverage, DC coverage, it will not stay because we have used coverage, DC coverage over here. In Tropy, each term can only be used once per template. So back to search field in property. We search coverage, then we will choose coverage DC terms coverage. Because we are describing a job application to a university, coverage is a suitable term to represent the geographic or institutional context. The DC terms prefix tells us this term comes from DCMA metadata terms. Note each field in the Tropy template must come from a loaded vocabulary and be linked to a recognized metadata standard. You can't just type in any term and use it. If you don't see the term you need, don't worry. We will cover how to load a new vocabulary in the next section. Coverage is the name of the new field. We use it to specify the university where Biggers is applying for a job. So in the label input box, we will put Job Application University. Data type. Since this is a text field, we will keep it XSD string. String is a data type for text field. Tropy uses the data type as a hint for how to interpret values. While the list may seem long, there are really just three main tabs. One is date, Tropy date for dates. The second is integer, XSD integer for numbers. And the third is string, XSD string for text. So this is not a mandatory field. I will leave this unchecked. Hint, I can put the university where Biggers is applying for a job. I don't have any default value for this field, and this is not a read-only field, so this is unchecked. If you want to share your customized Tropy template, like this one, you select it, export it. Use the up arrow, that's the export button. Save the template file. The exported template file will be saved with a .ttp file extension. Then you can share the file the way you want it, either as email attachment or put it in cloud storage. To use a template shared with you, you download the shared .ttp file, then go back to Tropy Preferences, Template, and then you click on the down arrow. That's the import button. Then follow the on-screen prompts. If you are interested in what the template.ttp file looks like, you can open it with a text editor. I'm using a Mac computer. I opened the file with TextEdit. Roughly, this is what the template file looks like. When you are editing the creator field, keep the field, and use a new label, literally you're editing this line of code in the template file. You will see the label, author, or sender. When you are putting a default value for the source field, literally you're editing this line of code. You will see it's constant true. That means it's read only, and you will see the default value over here. When you are adding a new coverage field for job application university, you're adding this line of code. You will see data type is string, and the term is from DC terms coverage. And you will see it's constant false. That means read only is not checked. And you will see label, job application university, and you will see hint over here. So when you are editing field, whether you edit the field or add a field, you're just editing a line of code or adding a line of code in the template file. This is just a user-friendly interface within Tropy Preferences. Next, let's see how to import a new vocabulary. Let's say you want to add a new field in Tropy to describe processes, techniques, or methods shown in images. You search for a term like technique, but nothing comes up. No matches found. So, what now? You can't just create and use your own term. Tropy does not allow you to do that. You can only search or browse the existing terms and select one and use. Tropy relies on terms from installed vocabularies to keep metadata consistent and interoperable. If you cannot find the term you want to use, in this case, the best approach is to consult a metadata specialist or a subject area expert. They can help you find an appropriate alternative term or recommend a vocabulary that includes the term you need. If you go to Tropy Preferences, Vocabularies, you will see Tropy comes with several commonly used vocabularies like Tropy vocabulary, Dolby core metadata element set, DCMI metadata terms, RDF, RDFS, EDM. They are all locked, meaning you can't edit or remove them. To add your own, click the plus button in the bottom left corner here. To find a vocabulary, a good resource is Linked Open Vocabularies. It has 876 vocabularies. Click on Vocabs and search for VRA, the Visual Resources Association vocabulary. It includes the term technique that we are looking for. Click on VRA and scroll down to the bottom of the page to see vocabulary version history. For this vocabulary, the only version available here is the version 2003. Click the file to download. Go to the download folder. You will see the downloaded file. The vocabularies must be in TTL or N3 file format to import to Tropy. This one is in N3 format. Now go back to Tropy Preferences, Vocabularies, click on the plus button, and import the vocabulary file we have just downloaded. Once it's imported, you will see this VRA vocabulary listed among your vocabulary list. Since this is user-installed vocabulary, it's not locked. You can delete it whenever you want it. Head back to Template. Go to our demonstration template. If I add a new field and search for technique, and you will see it appears here thanks to the newly installed VRA vocabulary. Now let's see how to create a customized template for exporting items to Zotero. Why do we need to create such a template? If you use Tropy to manage your research photos, and Zotero to handle citations for secondary sources, a custom export template allows you to seamlessly transfer metadata from Tropy to Zotero without manually re-entering each item. By setting up a template, you're telling Tropy exactly how to format the metadata so it can be exported in a way Zotero understands. Tropy and Zotero use different sizes of fields to describe items. For example, in Tropy, you will see collection field and you will see data source field. However, in Zotero, you will see location in archive, and you will see URL field. To enable these two programs to communicate effectively, we use Citation Style Language, CSL, as a bridge. At the bottom right of the page, you can see Zotero is one of the products that use CSL. Similarly, at the bottom of the Tropy page, you can see CSL plugin that allows to export Tropy items in CSL. Think of CSL as a translator that helps Tropy format its metadata in a way that Zotero can understand. Next, we will use Zotero item type letter as an example to explain the workflow. This is from Zotero documentation. you can see the item type letter. On this GitHub page, you can see the corresponding CSL type is personal communication. Click on Letter. It takes us to the Fields section. There are 18 fields of Zotero item type letter, and here are all the corresponding CSS fields. Let's begin with an end in mind and work our way back. First, we need to decide what fields to keep for citation purpose. This is our Tropy LibGuide page. No matter which citation style you use, such as APA, MLA, or Chicago, the following elements are essential for setting archival documents: individual document title, author, date, collection name and identifier, box number, folder number, archive name and location, URL. We have decided to keep the following 9 Zotero fields for citation purpose. Next, map all the selected 9 Zotero fields in the custom Tropy template. Here is the ultimate mapping table we need to implement. Each Zotero field is mapped to a CSS field. Each Tropy field is mapped to a CSS field too. You can see the values in this CS field column is the same as the values in this CSL field column, which means each Zotero field has been mapped to each Tropy field. Back to Tropy, let's create the custom template. Go to Tropy, Settings, Templates. Select Tropy Correspondence, duplicate it. We will name it Zotero Letter. Fill out the metadata accordingly. Click Create button. Remove the fields we don't need, like coverage, box, and folder. Find coverage, just click on the minus button to remove it. Box, remove it. Folder, remove it. We will map item type first. Let's find the type field and move it up to the top. For label, type in lowercase type. For default value, type in personal communication. Check is mandatory field. Check is read-only. Type must be in lowercase. The default value, it must be a valid CSL type value. They are case sensitive. For a list of valid CSL types, refer to this page. This is a mandatory field to have because when you export metadata using this template, Zotero decides how to interpret the data based on the value in the type field. In this example, the default value of the type is personal_communication, which corresponds to letter item type in Zotero. Next, we will map the following 8 fields in order. Essentially, you are mapping Zotero fields to Tropy fields using CSL fields. Remember, CSL fields act as a shared language between Tropy and Zotero. They are case sensitive, so be sure to enter them exactly as defined. Next, let's edit the field one by one. Type in title in the label input box. Remember, this is a CSL field. Enter them exactly as defined. For the following fields, I'll just input them quickly. Author for creator, recipient for audience, issued for date, archive for source, archive_location for collection, call-number for identifier, license for rights. For the URL field, we need to add it. Click on the plus button. Search for data source. And choose this data source, BF data source. Type in uppercase URL. You're done. Congratulations! You have successfully created Zotero Letter template. In order to export items from Tropy to Zotero, in addition to the custom template, you need to install CSL plugin. This CSL plugin lets Tropy export a JSON file in CSL, which Zotero can interpret and import. The CSL JSON file is like a middleman that makes the communication between Tropy and Zotero possible. Click on the CSL plugin link. It takes you to this GitHub page. Scroll down and click on the latest release. Click to download Tropy plugin CSL zip file. You see this zip file has been downloaded. Do not unpack it. Go to Tropy, Tropy Settings, go to Plugins, click on Install Plugin. Click to select the zip file you have just downloaded. Open, click Enable, click on Settings. From Template drop-down menu, select Zotero Letter. I will name it Zotero Letter. This is to tell the CSL plugin which template to use when exporting the item metadata. If you haven't created your own Zotero Letter template yet, you can go to our Tropy LibGuide page. Under Create a New Project page, you can download Zotero Letter template. You can also download Zotero Manuscript template. This is the general purpose template for exporting items to Zotero. I'll click on it, download it, and you will see the downloaded Zotero Manuscript template file. Go to Tropy. Go to Template, go to Import, select the template file, open, and click OK. Now go back to Plugins. Go to Settings. If Settings doesn't open, no worry. Just click Enable and quickly set up Zotero Letter again. Click the plus button as we have more Zotero template to set up. I will select Manuscript and name it Zotero Manuscript. Now, when you export items to Zotero, you can choose which template to use, either Zotero Letter or Zotero Manuscript. Now you have the Zotero Letter template created or installed, and you have the CSL plugin installed and set up properly. You're ready to export. Close Tropy Preferences. Back to Tropy interface. Select the item you want to export to Zotero. Under Metadata pane, make sure Zotero Letter template is applied. Right-click over the item. Go to Export Item, Zotero Letter. Give it a meaningful name and click Save. It creates a JSON file. A JSON file is a text-based format for storing structured data. If you're interested in what the JSON file looks like, on Mac, you can open with TextEdit. The first line is Type Personal Communication. When the file is imported to Zotero, Zotero uses this line of code to decide how to interpret the rest part of the file. And you can see title, author, recipient, issued, archive location, call number, license, URL, all the fields. As you can see, the JSON file includes metadata for all the selected Zotero fields, not an associated photo file. You can also select multiple items. Make sure under Metadata, Zotero Letter template is applied. Then you can export selected items using Zotero Letter template so that you don't have to import the items file by file into Zotero. You can export multiple items into a single JSON file. To import to Zotero, go to Zotero, File, Import, a file. Continue. Select the JSON file, open. Just continue and done. Click on the item and you will see all the metadata for the selected fields have been imported. Value for title, value for author, value for recipient, value for URL, value for archive, value for location in the archive, value for call number, and value for rights. That's all about how to export Tropy items to Zotero. For more up-to-date instructional materials on Tropy, go to our LibGuide page. Have fun diving into your research photos with Tropy.